Welcome, dear Pisceans, to the threshold of one of the most potentially significant days for your financial well-being, June 24, 2025. Today, we will delve into the depths of your inner world, for it is there that the keys to your monetary success lie. Your celestial ruler, the enigmatic and intuitive Neptune, activates its power on this day, directing it straight into the current of your financial destiny. Imagine Neptune as an invisible conductor tuning your internal antenna to the frequencies of abundance. Pisces' innate capacity for empathy, foresight, and subtle perception of reality will be sharpened to its limit. This isn't just intuition, it's a direct conduit to cosmic wisdom that can guide you toward unexpected financial opportunities. On June 24, you may experience sudden epiphanies, like lightning bolts, piercing your consciousness. These could be clear premonitions about profitable investments, a sense of rightness regarding a particular business proposition, or even an unexpected impulse to choose specific numbers on a lottery ticket. Neptune works through the subconscious, through dreams, through subtle signs, and through coincidences that are, in fact, messages from the universe. Your task is to learn to recognize and trust them. How do you use this precious gift? First and foremost, create a space for silence and self-reflection. The morning of June 24 is ideal for meditation or simply for listening to your inner voice before the day's hustle begins. Write down any thoughts, ideas, or even images that come to mind. They may hold the key to your financial breakthrough. Trust your gut feelings, those butterflies in your stomach, or, conversely, the sense of inner peace you feel when facing financial decisions. If something seems too good to be true, but simultaneously evokes a deep sense of certainty within you, investigate it. Sometimes, it is Neptune that opens doors that seem irrational from a logical standpoint but lead to colossal success. Remember, your intuition is not just a feeling, it's a high-precision tool for navigating the financial world. However, beyond this internal compass, the universe is preparing more tangible manifestations of luck for you, which may come from the most unexpected, yet familiar and comforting, sources. Dear Pisceans, if your intuition, like a compass, is already pointing towards unexplored currents of financial abundance, prepare yourselves, for the universe is ready to reinforce these premonitions with tangible gifts. While your inner sense sharpens your perception of hidden opportunities, on June 24, 2025, the mighty Jupiter, the great benefactor, takes center stage, positioned in the sign of Cancer. This placement is incredibly harmonious for you, as a water sign, and portends deep, fundamental changes in your personal financial well-being, closely tied to your roots, home, and family. Jupiter in Cancer is not just luck, it's expansion and growth in those areas that provide you with a sense of security, comfort, and emotional solace. For Pisces, this means your financial flow can be powerfully activated through spheres traditionally associated with home, real estate, family legacy, and even ancestors. Imagine not just an increase in income, but a strengthening of your financial foundation, creating that secure base that allows you to feel completely safe. How might this manifest? First, be extremely attentive to matters concerning real estate. Perhaps it's the ideal moment to acquire a new home, the very place you've always dreamed of calling your own, or to profitably sell existing property, which could yield significantly more than you anticipated. Investments in land, property, or even improvements to your current dwelling could bring dividends that exceed all expectations. It might also be an unexpected offer to buy, or conversely, you might find an ideal long-term rental option that significantly reduces your expenses. Moreover, Jupiter in Cancer particularly favors receiving an inheritance or financial assistance from distant relatives. This doesn't necessarily mean millions, but it could be valuable assets, a substantial sum of money, or even a stake in a family business you might not have even known existed. Sometimes, this manifests through the rekindling of old family ties that suddenly open doors to long-forgotten assets or opportunities. Perhaps it's time to review old family documents, wills, or speak with older family members about family history and assets. It's not out of the question that you will now learn about certain family heirlooms or rights that previously remained hidden. To maximize these opportunities, it's crucial for Pisceans to be proactive while still maintaining your innate sensitivity. First, show interest in your family history. Perhaps it's time to visit those distant relatives you haven't seen in a long time, or to sort through old photographs and documents. Sometimes, in such seemingly sentimental acts, the keys to material blessings may be hidden. Second, actively study the real estate market. Even if you weren't planning a purchase, now is the time to be aware of offers that could be incredibly beneficial. Third, be open to dialogue about financial matters within the family. Sometimes, offers of joint investments or assistance may come from the least expected sources. This is a time when your home, your roots, and your family become not just a source of emotional support, but also a powerful magnet for financial well-being. Use your intuition, which we discussed earlier, to recognize the true opportunities that come to you through these channels. However, beyond deep family connections and solid foundations, there are other, more dynamic paths to prosperity awaiting you in the swirl of social interactions and new acquaintances. So, dear Pisceans, while we've discussed the deep, intuitive layers of your financial prosperity, the wisdom of ancestors, and invisible currents of abundance, on June 24, 2025, celestial energies also open up more tangible, communicative paths to success for you. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and, importantly, finances, will be positioned in the light and adaptable sign of Gemini on this day. This placement of Venus is a true gift for your financial horoscope, as it activates the sphere of communication, connections, and intellectual exchange. For you, sensitive and empathetic Pisceans, this means your natural abilities to understand others, your flexibility, and adaptability can now be directed towards building a strong financial foundation through networking and information flow. Venus in Gemini urges you to actively utilize all channels of communication. Your social media accounts will cease to be mere leisure spaces and transform into powerful tools for attracting financial opportunities. Actively manage your profiles, share your ideas and knowledge, even if they seem insignificant to you. Every message, comment, and post you share, whether it offers value or simply reflects your unique perspective, can become an invisible bridge to a new income stream. Don't hesitate to initiate online discussions, participate in webinars, or leave meaningful comments on posts by experts in your field or potential partners. Your capacity for empathy will help you forge genuine connections that can then transform into profitable offers. Furthermore, the influence of Venus in Gemini emphasizes the importance of new acquaintances. Be open to dialogue with people you meet in everyday life, at professional events, courses, seminars, even in the most mundane places. A casual conversation could turn into a valuable business proposition, an unexpected partnership, or even a new startup idea that brings you significant income. Your intuition, amplified by Neptune, will allow you to quickly recognize which of these new connections are the most promising and sincere. This is a time for actively using words, ideas, and contacts as currency that will yield dividends for you. Consider monetizing your knowledge or hobbies through online platforms, teach, consult, create unique content. Your unique perspective and deep understanding of human nature will be highly valued. However, for these external interactions to yield maximum results, it is crucial to listen not only to others but also to your inner voice, which will guide you to the true value of each step. Beyond the already mentioned planetary energies that open doors to financial abundance for you, Pisces, another powerful player enters the stage on June 24, 2025, the Sun in the sign of Cancer. For you, as representatives of the water element, this placement of the luminary takes on special significance, for it directly influences your emotional intelligence, making it a most potent tool for achieving financial success. The Sun, symbolizing our conscious self, our life force, and will, when in sensitive and intuitive Cancer, illuminates the deeper layers of your psyche, amplifying your natural empathy and capacity for profound emotional perception of the world. How is this connected to money, you ask? Directly. Your emotional intelligence is not merely the ability to feel and empathize, it's the ability to recognize and manage your own emotions and those of others, and to leverage them for effective decision-making. In the financial sphere, this manifests as a heightened premonition of lucrative deals, an intuitive understanding of partners' intentions, and the ability to read between the lines of a situation. You will be able to not only analyze numbers but also grasp subtle nuances that elude a purely logical approach. For instance, when deciding on real estate investments, you will not only assess market value but also sense the energy of the place, the growth potential emanating from its soul, which is so important for Cancer and Pisces. Or when discussing a salary increase, your sensitivity will allow you to choose the ideal moment and the right words, based on your manager's emotional state. The practical methods for utilizing this gift are simple yet profound. First, trust your inner voice. If an offer seems logical but causes you internal discomfort, a pause is necessary. Your intuition, amplified by the Sun in Cancer, may be warning you of hidden risks. Second, actively use your empathy in business negotiations. Understanding your opponent's needs and motivations gives you a tremendous advantage, allowing you to build dialogue in a way that benefits both parties, making it more sustainable in the long term. Third, don't be afraid to show care and build relationships based on trust. Cancer is the sign of family and home, and this influence can manifest in your desire to create a reliable, financial family of partners and clients. Long-term, trusting relationships often yield far more dividends than one-off, cold transactions. Finally, use your sensitivity to analyze the market. Your ability to grasp moods, trends, and even the unvoiced desires of consumers can become the key to creating in-demand products or services that will bring you significant income. Your emotional intelligence is not just a soft skill, it's a powerful radar capable of detecting hidden opportunities and threats in the money flow. However, for these insights to transform into tangible capital, something more than just intuition is required. Finally, let's focus on the energy that grants you, Pisces, unprecedented perseverance and persistence in achieving the most ambitious financial goals. We are referring to the influence of Mars, located in the practical and earthy sign of Taurus. This aspect, seemingly contrasting with your watery, changeable nature, is in fact the most powerful anchor that stabilizes your financial aspirations. Mars in Taurus is not about instant breakthroughs, but about methodical, consistent movement towards your goals. It endows you with the patience of a bull, the ability not just to dream of wealth, but to systematically realize those dreams, step by step. Your intuition, amplified by Neptune, now receives a powerful impulse to act, allowing you not just to feel profitable opportunities, but to possess the inner strength to realize them. This is a time when your creative energy and empathy can be directed towards creating something tangible and durable. You will discover an unseen resilience to financial challenges, the ability not to retreat in the face of difficulties, but to methodically overcome them. During this period, your energy will be most productive when working on long-term accumulation and investment strategies. Forget about short-term gains, the focus shifts to building a solid foundation. Consider investments in stable assets, real estate, which may be linked to family matters as we've already discussed, or even in reliable company stocks that offer stable growth. This is an ideal time for mastering the principles of portfolio diversification, risk distribution, and creating passive income that will serve you for many years. Practical steps might include automatically allocating a portion of income to a savings account, studying the principles of compound interest, and drafting a personal financial plan for the next 5 to 10 years. Mars in Taurus urges you to be realistic and pragmatic in financial matters, to avoid impulsive decisions, and to trust proven strategies. This is not just a period for accumulation, but also for strengthening your financial mindset, forming habits that will ensure your stability in the future. Now is when you can lay the foundations for your financial independence, using not only your intuition but also your newly acquired earthy practicality. However, for these foundations to be truly unshakable, something more than just perseverance and long-term planning will be required. A deep understanding of responsibility and the ability to build clear structures for managing your resources is essential. Dear Pisceans, we have already delved deeply into how Neptune sharpens your intuition, Jupiter opens doors through family connections, Venus activates networking, the Sun enhances emotional intelligence, and Mars grants perseverance. But now it is time to consider the influence of the planet that demands maximum responsibility and structure from us, Saturn. In 2025, and particularly by June 24, Saturn continues its significant journey through your own sign, Pisces. This astrological placement is not just a cosmic phenomenon, it is a powerful call to action aimed at strengthening your financial foundation. For you, Pisces, whose nature is inclined towards deep feelings, intuition, and at times, a certain vagueness in the material world, Saturn in your sign acts as a reliable anchor. It does not seek to suppress your natural empathy or creative impulse. On the contrary, its energy is directed at helping you channel these unique qualities into tangible, real financial well-being. Perhaps many of you have felt a certain blurriness or even chaos in your financial affairs. Saturn is here precisely to help you bring order. It strongly recommends not just dreaming of financial abundance, but actively, purposefully building it, step by step. This is an ideal period to meticulously analyze all your income and expenses. Creating a detailed, honest budget is not a limitation, but a fundamental, first step towards achieving true financial independence. Record every penny that comes in and goes out. Understand exactly where your funds are going. Furthermore, Saturn strongly recommends forming a strong financial safety net. Regular, even if initially modest, allocations to savings will eventually transform into significant capital. Set specific, measurable financial goals for yourself. This could be a savings account for unforeseen situations, a fund for a major purchase, or startup capital for investments. These are not just numbers in an account, this is your confidence in tomorrow, your personal foundation that will allow you to feel secure, regardless of external economic fluctuations. If you have accumulated debts, Saturn urges their systematic and deliberate repayment. Develop a clear algorithm, prioritize, explore refinancing or consolidation options. Every step towards reducing debt burden is a step towards liberation from financial burden, which Saturn values above all else. In addition, this is the most favorable time for an in-depth study of financial literacy fundamentals. Read specialized literature, participate in educational webinars, and do not hesitate to seek advice from professional financial advisors. Saturn generously rewards knowledge and the pursuit of mastery. The deeper you understand the principles of how money works, the more effectively you will be able to manage it. Your financial stability is not a product of random luck, but a direct result of your conscious efforts and discipline. Remember, Saturn encourages patience and perseverance. True financial stability is not achieved instantly, it is the fruit of long-term, consistent labor. Start today, even with the smallest step, and you will witness how your financial reality begins to transform. You will stop merely drifting and become the confident captain of your financial ship, capable of skillfully navigating any economic storms. And while you are laying this strong and reliable foundation, realize that there are other, less traditional paths to prosperity that can unfold thanks to your unique capacity for innovation and unconventional thinking. Friends, Pisceans, we have already touched upon many aspects of your financial prosperity on June 24, 2025, but there is one more key element that cannot be ignored, the influence of Uranus, the revolutionary planet, located in the pragmatic sign of Taurus. This aspect brings a completely new dynamic into your life, especially in the sphere of income and material accumulation. Uranus in Taurus is not just change, it's a radical reevaluation of how you perceive and create financial stability. For you, intuitive and at times prone to dreaming Pisceans, this is a powerful impulse to find unconventional avenues of earning. Familiar, established schemes might suddenly cease to work, or conversely, completely unexpected opportunities will open up where you least expected them. This is a time when innovation, technology, and unconventional approaches become your main allies in capital accumulation. How does this manifest? Perhaps you will suddenly realize that your unique creative abilities, which until now were just hobbies, could be monetized through new digital platforms. Or you might receive an offer for collaboration on a project that is at the intersection of several industries, utilizing cutting-edge technologies you hadn't even considered before. This could involve creating unique digital content, developing an application, investing in startups offering breakthrough solutions, or even mastering a completely new profession related to automation or artificial intelligence. My advice to you, Pisces, be open to experiments. Uranus loves suddenness and originality. Don't be afraid to explore areas that seem too futuristic or don't fit into your usual way of thinking. Explore opportunities in blockchain, cryptocurrencies, sustainable technologies, or even niche online services. Your natural empathy and ability to sense trends, amplified by Neptune, can hint at where these goldmines of the future are hidden. This is a time when creative thinking and a willingness to take reasonable risks yield the most unexpected and significant financial fruits. Seek new income not only directly but also by re-evaluating the value of what you already possess or know how to do. Perhaps it's time to create an online course based on your unique methodology, turn your long-standing hobby into a profitable business through internet platforms, or find a way to apply your skills in a completely new, technological field. Uranus in Taurus urges you towards financial independence through originality and boldness. It pushes you to step away from routine and view the world of money entirely differently. And while we discuss such global, even revolutionary changes in the financial landscape, it's important to remember that there's another powerful force capable of transforming your opportunities on a completely new, collective level. Dear Pisceans, while we've discussed the influence of planets shaping your personal financial foundation and tactical steps, now it's time to look at the deep, tectonic shifts promised by Pluto, your modern ruler, moving through Aquarius. This is not just a planet, it's the archetype of transformation, the death of the old and the birth of the new, and in Aquarius, it affects collective consciousness, innovation, technology, and societal structures. For you, sensitive and intuitive Pisceans, this means your financial success will be inextricably linked to global trends. Forget about small speculations. Pluto in Aquarius urges you to re-evaluate the very concept of wealth within the context of the future. It compels us to ask, how do your personal finances fit into a changing world driven by artificial intelligence, blockchain, alternative energy, or socially oriented projects? Your task is not just to follow trends, but to anticipate them. Your intuition, amplified by Neptune, becomes an invaluable navigator in these turbulent waters. Pay attention to those spheres that seem futuristic or even a bit daunting. It is there that immense potential for transforming your financial situation is hidden. Master new digital skills, study the fundamentals of cybersecurity, and invest in startups offering breakthrough solutions. Perhaps it's time not just to save, but to become part of something bigger, investing your resources in projects that benefit society while also having immense growth potential. Pluto demands the courage to abandon outdated financial models. If you cling to the past, it may initiate a cleanse to clear the path for the new. Don't be afraid to experiment with new forms of earning, such as freelancing and innovation, creating online products based on your unique knowledge, or even participating in decentralized financial systems. Your capacity for empathy and understanding human needs, recalling the Sun in Cancer and Venus in Gemini activating communications, will help you see exactly which innovations will be in demand by people in the future. A practical tip: actively participate in communities discussing new technologies and global challenges. Your ideas might initially seem unrealistic, but they could be the key to your financial independence. Seek mentors in IT, fintech, or sustainable development. Develop your digital literacy and don't be afraid to be a pioneer. Your financial future on June 24, 2025, and beyond, largely depends on your readiness for radical change and adaptation to a new reality. Remember that the true power of Pluto is in rebirth. It offers you the chance to become the architect of your future, not merely an observer. However, in striving for these global heights, it's important not to overlook the subtle nuances that could become obstacles if you don't pay due attention to details and avoid excessive self-criticism. So, we have already outlined the powerful energy flows that will guide Pisces towards financial prosperity on June 24, 2025. However, as in any significant astrological reading, there are aspects that require special attention, a kind of pitfalls that could hinder the full realization of the day's potential. One such aspect is the position of Lilith, or the Black Moon, in the sign of Virgo. Lilith in Virgo is not merely a manifestation of the shadow side, it's more an indicator of areas where our hidden complexes or excessive ambitions can transform into obstacles. In this case, when it comes to finances, Virgo focuses attention on details, analysis, perfectionism, and criticality. And this is where the trap lies for Pisces. Your natural inclination towards empathy and intuition, which we discussed earlier in the context of Neptune, can be paralyzed by excessive self-analysis or the fear of making a mistake. Imagine you are on the verge of a significant decision, whether it's a new investment, requesting a raise, or even participating in a lottery where your intuition whispers the correct numbers. Lilith in Virgo can trigger an inner voice that incessantly analyzes, doubts, seeks flaws where none exist, or exaggerates minor risks. Perfectionism might cause you to postpone action until everything is perfect, which, in the dynamic world of financial opportunities, is tantamount to a missed chance. Excessive criticism, both of yourself and others, of deal specifics or your own abilities, can undermine confidence and create tension in partnerships, which, as we recall, thanks to Venus in Gemini, play a key role in attracting financial flows. So, how can you avoid these shadow influences? The key to success here is awareness and the ability to find balance. Firstly, learn to trust your intuition, which is especially strong today. If your inner voice tells you something, don't let Virgo's logic and criticism completely drown it out. Verify, but don't over-verify endlessly. Secondly, let go of the pursuit of absolute perfection. Remember, it's better to do something well and on time than perfectly but too late. This is particularly relevant for projects requiring a quick start or for seizing short-term opportunities. Thirdly, be less critical of yourself and the process. Mistakes are part of learning, not a reason for self-flagellation. Stop nitpicking every little detail, focus on the bigger picture and strategic goals. Finally, don't be afraid to delegate and trust others. Your capacity for cooperation, amplified by Venus, should be utilized, not suppressed by the urge to control every detail. Accept that sometimes, good enough, is indeed true perfection, especially when it leads to real financial progress. Remember that the true strength of Pisces lies not only in adaptation but also in the courage that allows you to overcome inner barriers. And so, we come to one of the most dynamic and, perhaps, most important aspects of this day for you, dear Pisces. While many planets whisper to you about hidden opportunities and intuitive insights, the North Node, your karmic vector of growth, loudly calls for a completely different approach. It is in decisive Aries, and this is not just a hint, but direct guidance for action. In the financial sphere, you need to show boldness, initiative, and even a healthy assertiveness. For members of your sign, often prone to deep reflection, empathy, and at times a certain passivity while waiting for a sign from above, this can be a real challenge. The North Node in Aries demands that you don't just dream about a raise or a win, but actively move towards these goals. This means taking responsibility, making the first move, declaring your ambitions, and not being afraid of competition or rejection. If Jupiter promises you generous gifts through family and real estate, and Venus opens flows through communication, it is the energy of Aries that gives you the push to ensure these gifts don't pass you by, that you don't miss your chance due to excessive doubt or indecision. How can you overcome this internal barrier, this eternal, what if it doesn't work out, that so often paralyzes Pisces? Recall Neptune, which sharpens your intuition. It is this inner wisdom that will be the compass guiding you toward decisive steps. Trust your hunches when it comes to profitable investments or business proposals. If you feel it's time to act, act. Don't let the excessive analysis warned by Lilith in Virgo turn into paralysis. Perfectionism and endless introspection can rob you of the very opportunities that are already knocking at your door. Remember that the energy of Aries is the energy of a pioneer. This doesn't necessarily mean reckless ventures, but it certainly means refusing to play the victim of circumstances. Apply for that job you've long dreamed of. Take the initiative to discuss a salary increase. Consider those innovative projects whispered by Uranus and Taurus, even if they seem unconventional. Now is the time for your inner strength to come to the forefront, allowing you not just to wait for fate's gifts, but to actively attract and retain them. Every small, yet decisive step is a building block in the foundation of your future financial success. However, decisiveness does not equate to recklessness. Every step, even the boldest, requires awareness and a deep understanding of the situation. On this significant day, June 24, 2025, as many planetary energies align in your favor, Pisces, pay special attention to the position of Mercury in Cancer. This configuration is more than just an astrological fact, it's a direct guide on how you should approach all financial matters. Mercury, the planet of thought, communication, and analysis, being in the sensitive and intuitive sign of Cancer, urges you not to rush. Forget the impulsiveness that can sometimes characterize your sign in moments of uncertainty. Instead, adopt an approach that harmoniously combines logical analysis with deep intuitive understanding. Every incoming piece of information, whether it's a job offer, a potential investment, or even details concerning a possible inheritance from distant relatives, must be carefully filtered through the lens of both rational assessment and your inner voice. Your natural empathy and ability to sense hidden currents will be amplified by this position of Mercury. This means you can feel out situations, catching nuances and subtexts that remain unnoticed by others. Don't be afraid to pause before making an important financial decision. Allow the information to settle, give it time to seep through the layers of your conscious and subconscious mind. Often, it is in these moments of quiet that the most accurate insights come to you. This could be a sudden feeling of confidence or, conversely, a slight unease that signals hidden risks. Trust these feelings. They are not just emotions, but powerful signals from your higher self, dictated by the wisdom of Mercury in Cancer. Use this period for thorough document review and fact-checking, but always remember the need to engage your intuition. If an offer seems too good to be true, or causes inner discomfort, even if logically everything is flawless, pause. Your internal navigation system is currently working with exceptional precision. This is especially relevant when it comes to large transactions, such as real estate acquisition, or significant financial operations that could affect your long-term well-being. Remember that true wisdom in finance is not just about quick decisions, but also the ability to see the whole picture, foresee consequences, and act in accordance with your deepest values. This planetary position gives you a unique tool for building a solid financial foundation based on your inner truth and awareness. To maximize these energies and translate them from potential into real achievements, it's important not only to analyze but also to actively apply specific strategies. So, dear Pisces, knowing which planetary energies are focused on you on June 24, 2025, it's time to move from understanding to action. This is not just a day of insights, but also a powerful portal for materializing your boldest financial desires. Let's explore specific, practical steps and rituals that will help you make the most of this unique astrological landscape. Let's begin with the deep, intuitive aspect so characteristic of you, which is amplified by Neptune. To enhance your ability to catch signs and insights, perform an intuitive water ritual. On the morning of June 24, before the sun rises high, or at sunset, find a quiet place. Pour clean water into a glass. Hold it in your hands, close your eyes, and visualize your financial goals, whether it's a new position, a successful deal, or an unexpected win. Whisper your intentions into the water. Drink half the water, and pour the remaining half onto fertile soil, for example, under a houseplant or in a flower bed, symbolically returning energy to the universe and opening yourself to its gifts. This ritual will help attune your subconscious to the wave of abundance and make you more receptive to financial opportunities that will come through intuition, dreams, and signs. Considering the influence of Jupiter in Cancer, which emphasizes home, family, and inheritance, pay attention to your dwelling. Perform a home blessing ritual for abundance. Start with a thorough cleaning and decluttering, especially in the southeastern sector of your home, which is traditionally associated with wealth. A cleared space is an open channel for new energy. Then, create an abundance corner, this could be a small table or shelf where you place items symbolizing prosperity, perhaps a beautiful piggy bank, a few coins, a live plant with rounded leaves, like a money tree, or a small mirror reflecting your space, doubling abundance. Light a green or gold candle and focus on gratitude for what you already have, and on the intention to attract even greater well-being into your home and family. This activates the energies of family prosperity and potential inheritance. Venus in Gemini encourages you to actively interact with the world through communication and connections. Perform a networking ritual. Before actively participating in online discussions, making calls, or meeting new people, light a yellow candle, a symbol of communication and intellect. On a piece of paper, write the names of people you'd like to connect with, or describe the type of useful contacts you need. Visualize successful, mutually beneficial interactions. Then extinguish the candle with the clear intention that your words and connections will lead to financial growth. Be open to new acquaintances, as profitable partnerships and fresh ideas may come through them. The Sun and Mercury in Cancer highlight the importance of emotional intelligence and intuitive understanding. To enhance this aspect, perform a heart wisdom meditation. Sit in silence, close your eyes, and focus on your heart center. Imagine a warm, golden light emanating from it. Allow this light to fill you, clearing any doubts or fears related to money. During this meditation, ask yourself a question about any financial decision that worries you, and allow the answer to emerge from within, from your deep intuition. Trust this inner voice and do not rush decisions, let the information settle. Mars in Taurus grants you persistence and tenacity. Use these qualities to perform an abundance anchor ritual. Take a small, heavy object in your hand, this could be a beautiful stone, an old coin, or even a small metal souvenir. Focus on it, feel its weight and stability. Clearly and firmly, state your most important financial goal 3 times, for example, I successfully invest in stable assets, or my income increases due to my persistence. Afterward, place this object in a visible spot where it will serve as a reminder of your financial goal and your determination to achieve it. Saturn in Pisces calls for discipline and responsibility. For this aspect, perform a financial clarity ritual. On June 24th, set aside time to thoroughly analyze your income and expenses. Use a green pen, symbolizing growth and money. As you create your budget, visualize how each number, every income and expense, contributes to your well-being. Consider creating or adding to a safety net. This is not just a dry calculation, but an act of intention that structures your financial energy and attracts stability. Uranus in Taurus encourages innovation and unconventional approaches. Perform an opening flows ritual. Dedicate 15 to 20 minutes to a free brainstorming session. Write down all, even the wildest, ideas on how you could earn money in unconventional ways, utilizing your unique talents or new technologies. Don't criticize yourself, just write. This practice will help you break free from conventional thinking and discover new, non-obvious paths to income. Pluto in Aquarius calls for transformation and connection with global trends. For this, perform a future vision meditation. Sit comfortably, close your eyes. Imagine yourself in 2030. What does your financial world look like? What technologies are you using? What global trends did you foresee, and how did that help you? This meditation will help you tune into the wave of future opportunities and be ready for radical changes. Finally, don't forget about Lilith in Virgo, which can provoke self-criticism. Perform a self-forgiveness ritual. Stand before a mirror, look yourself in the eyes and say, I trust my intuition. I am worthy of abundance. I release the pursuit of perfection and accept myself as I am. This will help you remove inner barriers and fully open yourself to opportunities. The North Node in Aries calls for courage. Before any important financial step, take a deep breath and say, I boldly move towards my goals. Remember that each of these steps is not just an action, but a powerful intention you send to the universe. The combination of your natural intuition, amplified by planetary energies, and targeted actions will create a powerful magnet for success. However, for these changes to bring not only financial abundance but also deep inner harmony, it's crucial to understand how your personal attitude towards your abilities and self-esteem influence this entire process.